Hi there, my name is Tran. Welcome to the No Dat Gardener channel. Today is June 28th, 2020. For today's video, we're gonna do a quick garden tour and do some harvesting. Anyway, I live in central North Dakota in zone 4A, and boy has it been cold up here. It's been, I think today I saw 93 degrees and yesterday was 97, and tomorrow we're supposed to be getting up to about 99 degrees, so it's going to be hot. It's been hot and dry. Speaking of dry, we are in the middle of a drought right now. We are actually, in this area here, we're in a severe drought. So since the beginning of January, we've received 2.33 inches of precip out here in this area. Our normal is roughly 8 inches, so we are way behind normal. But there's some thunder boomers building up to my right here. Hopefully we'll get something out of that either tonight or tomorrow night or Tuesday. That's the forecast anyway. We sure could use some rain. But anyway, let's head over and take a look at some of the veggies. Okay, these are the no-name organic garlic. They are starting to scape, as you can see here. Right there. I should be able to harvest most of the scapes tomorrow or the following day. This here is our trellis with Kajari melons and bitter melons. The Kajari melon is starting to do something here. I put these in I think it was beginning of June. I direct sowed some seeds. These here are starting to take off. These are the bitter melons, and they're on both sides of the trellis. They're starting to take off. Oh, I see a little baby bitter melon here. Right there. And right here is my trellis, vertical trellis for my indeterminate tomatoes. They're also doing pretty well. We've got some sun sugar tomatoes here, and the leaves are kind of acting weird. They're all curling up on me. It's probably from the heat, but otherwise they're really green, so I'm not too worried about it. These here are my Beauty King tomatoes. Pink tie-dye, daikon radish. This is a black cherry tomato right here. And we've got a few tomatoes already also. Yeah, there's no leaf curl here. Fireworks tomato. There's a story behind this guy. There was another tomato plant there and it had terrible leaf curls, so I had to yank it out just in case it was a virus. I didn't want it to affect the other tomatoes. Pink tie-dye tomatoes. Was an Amana orange tomato here. Got yanked out because it died from the frost, so then I put in some carrots. Here's another Amana orange that survived. Another Beauty King. This guy, I'm not sure. These are Kellogg's breakfast tomatoes here. And right behind are just a variety of bell peppers. Y'all doing pretty good. In this area here, it's a mishmash of red cabbage, lots of hot peppers. I've got Anaheim and shishitos. There are some eggplants, tomatoes, broccoli, and zucchini squashes. And Morty needs some work. The wind's been beating them up. These here are my cantaloupe. They're starting to do something. They were, I think, you know, with the so much mulch on the ground, it takes a while for the ground to warm up versus bare ground. So it just takes a while for them to really acclimate and for the ground to warm up enough where they'll take off. These here are my buttercup squashes. I think there's like 4 or 5 plants in this group of 3 hills. These here are my sugar baby watermelons. Now, if you remember, about 2 weeks ago, they looked terrible just because there was a big old ant hill here. We took care of the ants with that borax formula that I had done a video on. It took about 72 hours, but it took care of them. And sorry for the wind. It's just been crazy windy and hot the last few days. And over here we've got some new stuff that I haven't planted before. This here is a cocozelle squash. It's similar to zucchini, except it's got really cool stripes on it. It's it's an Italian zucchini. Check this out. Voila! So we'll be picking this guy. I'll probably just pick him now. Just take it, twist, and there it is. Leave him here and we'll pick him up later. These here are, they are honeyboat squashes. They're supposed to be one of the sweetest winter squashes that you can grow. And here are the Russian giant garlic. And as you can see, there's some scapes there. And I'm going to do a quick how-to in harvesting the scapes. A lot of people cut them, but I do mine differently, and I'll show you in just a second here. Okay, so a lot of people would take scissors and cut the scapes at the base, but then they end up losing some of it. What I do here, and I don't know if you can see it on the camera or not, I'm trying to video this and do this at the same time. What I do is I grab the scape and pull it straight up slowly, and you get more of it than you would otherwise. There it is. See, you get a lot more, and the bottom part, the younger part, is so tender and tasty. See, normally if I would have cut it off where it comes out of the plant, it would have been right there. But being that I pulled them, I get an additional this much. Let's do a couple more real quick. Here's one. I just pull it straight up, slowly. And look at all the scapes that I get. If I would have cut it off, it would have been right here. And look at all the additional scape that I got. Okay, I'll just harvest a bunch more and then we'll continue with the garden tour. Okay, let's continue with the tour before it starts to rain here. Check out the, I don't know if you can tell, some big old thunder boomers building up. Okay, this here is my butternut squash. It's doing okay. I think it needs some rain. Oh, another thing with the drought. I've been watering about every 7 days, once a week, or maybe every 8 days. But in areas where, like these onions here, where there is no mulch, I have to water every 3 to 4 days. So the wood chip and the alfalfa sure helps to preserve the water, that and sure makes it a lot easier to take care of as far as weeds and watering. This area here, we've got on the left are California Wonder peppers, bell peppers. The 2 rows in the middle are yellow bell peppers, and then the row to the right here is giant Chinese red peppers. These here are purple peppers, and these onions here are planted from onion starts. They're doing really well. The neck on these seems to be a lot thicker and sturdier than the onion sets that we planted down there, and I'll show them to you in a little bit. So these are all standing, but the onion sets over there, they're kind of wind blown. A lot of them are laying sideways. Here is the sweet corn. We put these in to the end of May. Yeah, right around the end of May, or the latest was first part of June. I think it was May 29th if I remember correctly. Here are moon and star watermelon plants. These things were doing terrible for a while. I think it's because the ground was so cold. Check out the leaves. Isn't that cool? But anyway, they were doing so bad that I had thought about yanking them all and just direct seeded, but with a little bit of patience and a little bit of TLC, and they're starting to take off now. Here are the 2 trellises, and I've got a pole bean right here. Yeah, and they're starting to climb. It's just amazing to me how they do that. But anyway, here are the cucumbers. And if you're wondering what this is a hunk of Irish Spring soap, and I'll explain that in a little bit. On this trellis, I've got long beans. They're yard long beans, and they're just starting to climb. Here on this side, I had planted some Tigger melons that I had started in the house, and they all died. So about 3 weeks ago, I threw in some yellow watermelon seeds, and they're doing all right. over here are Tigger melons that were directly sown into the ground. So I'll know better next year. If I do plant them again, we'll just direct sow these guys. A couple more of the long beans. On this side, we've got some more cucumbers, and we've got a couple of little cucumbers in here. I think I will pick one. There you go. More pole beans. Here we've got 3 more bitter melon plants. They're doing pretty good. Over here I've got zucchini squash. No, I've got spaghetti squash. There are like 5 or 6 plants in these 3 hills. They're doing really well. I've got a little tiny, I think I've got a tiny squash right there. Spaghetti squash, winter squash. Over here are my northern red potatoes. See a couple late comers here. There's one, there's another one. And see, if you look at the tops of these potatoes, they've been eaten off by a deer that left this big hunk. So therefore the soap it's a really strong scent, higher spring scent, and it tends to keep the deer away. So it's been working so far. See, the tops are all eaten off. And over here, these are the onion sets that I was talking about. The neck on them are a little bit, I don't know, weaker. They're thinner and weaker, so they can't handle the wind as much. So next year I'll know. I'll probably just go with onion starts. They're supposed to produce bigger onions anyway. Over here are the Kennebec potatoes. They're doing really well, spotty. But here are some Frida's purple sweet potatoes. This is also an experiment. What I did was I put a sweet potato into a glass of water, and it took about 4 weeks for it to develop shoots, and then I cut off the shoots and stuck them in the ground, and they're doing okay. Cabbages. Cabbages are doing good. I sprayed them with neem oil again yesterday, so this is the best cabbages I've had in a long time, just because I'm more consistent with the neem oil. Every 2 weeks, I guess, is what it takes. If you've got lots of bugs, you might have to do it more often than that. Okay. Rick is holding up. He's not scaring the deer though, so we might have to do something with him if the soap doesn't work. So I gotta show you something up here that I'm so this is an expansion of the garden, this little strip here that has nothing planted in it. I laid down cardboard and then compost on top and then wood chips on top of this. So I'm hoping that I can plant next year. The problem is the wood chip that I got from a different source that I put in here, we had an ant hill. The wood chip had ants in them. So there was a huge anthill in here, so I had to mix up some more borax and sugar, and seems to be taking care of them. It's only been 24 hours and the numbers have dropped dramatically. Okay, I guess that's it for the garden tour. We'll see you next week. So subscribe if you haven't, and hit the bell for notifications of future videos, and then we'll see you then. Thank you for spending the time with me tonight. See you soon. Bye.